To the civilization of the people without melanin. Right. And so when they said that was stupid, we said it was stupid. And when the old people said they could see spirits, we said they can't see them. They don't teach that in the university. That's stupid too. So I'm saying that there is something. There's another level of receiving information. There's another level of understanding that we have been turned off to, and we have had our melanin watered down. Happily, right? Not happily. Not happily. You see, but I think that they understood there was power in the melanin. And they said, well, we'll water it down in our process. And we'll make them happy that we're watering it down. It's like if we think about the two things that they made us ridicule. They made us ridicule our black. And they made us ridicule our hair. And little do we know, these are antennae. Does your TV antenna work when it's falling down? I want me some straight hair. No, it only works if it's standing up on its own, saying come in, data come in. Okay, part two. Recently, well, I'm going to talk about AIDS. Because melanin comes into play for me. That all discussion about AIDS, my brain computer was saying, it doesn't sound right. It's not right. Something's wrong with it. It doesn't ring true. So I have been gathering all kinds of newspaper articles, everything I can get my hand on. I try to read 3 papers every day. New York Times, Washington Post, Washington Times, because you got to read all the pieces. There's a little bit of information there, a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there. So I'm reading, and it just doesn't seem right. You know, started amongst African people, Haitian people gave it to Swedish prostitutes, and then, no, my brain said that does not compute. So I'm looking for information, not in any kind of frantic sense. You just kind of cool, going around doing your work and whatever, but it's in the back of your mind, a question or an opinion that something is not right, and you're telling your computer to gather data, bring in the data, bring in the data, bring in the data. So now I'm sitting in another office practicing psychiatry in the evening, and the voice said, go to the Martin Luther King Library and get the book Bad Blood on the Tuskegee syphilis experience. Now I knew about the Tuskegee experiments. As a physician, black, I knew about it, but I hadn't read the whole book. So I went to get the book. There it was, laying there in the library. I brought it home and read it. And for those of you who are not totally familiar, between the years 1932 and 1972, 600 black men were told they were being treated for syphilis in Alabama. The United States Government Public Health Service and the Center for Disease Control in Atlanta were conducting these experiments and fooling these black men so that they continued to have the organisms in their body, destroying their body, passing it on to wives and children. They had even discussed ideas, some of the people, that this is a way to get rid of black people. So after I read that, and realize that the United States public health...
I was taught well by my ancestors. That's why I got my degree from my ancestors. You see? Because I knew goddamn well that was an experiment with that last thing with the jab. Anytime they want y'all to line up and your people's pumping it on y'all, it's an experiment and they selling y'all out. Let's get into it. The queen, the late mother Frances Cress Welsing breaks it down. For all you heathens that say, oh, he don't know what he talking about. Okay, I told y'all, every morning or every chance I get, I'm gonna bring a different ancestor up here. Rock your bones, goddammit. I'm gonna rock your bones, goddammit. Yeah, we gonna get into the wanted dead or unalive to the 3 black officers that was found not guilty in the Nichols trial. We gonna get into all that. That y'all niggas just hate yourself. It don't matter what profession you in. God damn it. You look for any way to hate your own self. God damn it. No backlash behind the Rodney King verdict of those officers. God damn it. What about George Floyd? God damn it. The list goes on. God damn it. You hypocrite ass niggas. Only when it's another black person you all willing to unalive them, right? All right, let's go.
Service and the Center for Disease Control in Atlanta were leading so-called the war against AIDS. But then I also was disturbed. Since 1983, I have been disturbed, writing letters saying public education, if you have a major epidemic, where is the public education? There's no education going on, particularly of black people. So I said, something is not right. And several months ago, I had called Surgeon General's office, Coop. And I said, you all, you're supposed to have this epidemic, and it's supposed to break out in full force in the black communities in a year or two. You're not educating the people. I said, most black people don't read. Not that they can't, they just don't. 9 out of 10 white people read, 1 out of 10 black people's reading. So I said, if you want to educate the black population, you've got to go on radio, you've got to go on television. The spokeswoman that I spoke to, she said it's unfortunate, some people just won't find out. And I said, I can't believe you're saying this to me. But she went on, saying some people just won't find out. So I was disturbed and concerned, and still no public education forthcoming. So, you know, my brain computer was saying something.
Do this sound familiar, ladies and gentlemen? Do this sounds familiar? But you listen to these house niggas, right? That was getting crumbs off the plate to sell you out. They'll tell you, oh, line up, you gotta get it. Every person that took a jab behind them house niggas, they got paid off you, nigga. You understand me? It was big business, y'all. Every person that they went out there and cat and made line up and take the jab in the African-American community from your own peoples, they got paid for each nigga they sold. In this, like slavery. You understand? You understand me? Like slavery, goddammit. Same deal. Them niggas got paid. They got them little crumbs off the plate to sell y'all niggas out to take that experiment. And that's all it was. An experiment. Ladies and gentlemen, let's continue.
It's not right. So after I read the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, I guess my brain went up to another level. And also before that, I had read the book, The Nazi Doctors, The Psychology of Medical Killings, or The Psychology of Genocide, Medical Killings and the Psychology of Genocide. And I read what they did to people who don't quite look non-white to us, who are called Semites in Germany and in Europe, and knew that Hitler said, well, they were not white, and implying basically that their ancestors had come out of Africa and that it were miscegenation products of Roman and Greek soldiers and African women, and making a little light population with some, frizzy hair, but some of it straight, and big noses, right? But 6 million of them had been destroyed. So I read that about the government there participating in the destruction of people who were not classified as white. And so I'm putting the pieces together. And I was on my way to the jewelry store. 18th Street, Northwest Washington. Happened to park my car in front of a store. That's like I parked, I'm going to the jewelry store. I look over here, and here's a little bookstore. I said, I've never seen this bookstore before. I wasn't even really familiar with all the shops. I just said, I've never seen it before. So I go into the store. It's a little store. So I'm walking around and looking, and I look at the different literature, and then something leads me right to the back of the store. Just, a long, oblong store going to the back. And I walk back there, and there's a book sitting on the shelf. A survey of chemical and biological warfare. So the price really turned me on. It was $3.95. Oh, I can get this. I can afford this. So I got that. I see I don't even have it with me. Okay, but anyway, I can tell you about it. So I took the little book home, 400 pages. See, I was saying I've never read anything formally on chemical and biological warfare, and since AIDS was in the back of my mind, I was thinking it was biological warfare. Right. And I had said it was biological warfare on a radio program until proven otherwise. Oh, here, this brother, here it is. Okay? So, John Cookson, Cookson, and Judith Nottingham, Nottingham, monthly review press. These are some British people, British political scientists and biochemists, and biochemists, geneticists, and political scientists. So check this. I go home. I sit down on the side of the bed. I was not going to read these 400 pages just because I was busy. I work about 16 hours a week. So, no, wait a minute, you guys, I got to straighten that up. I'm 56. 40 in my full-time job, about 16 hours in my private office, okay? So I didn't have time to read all these pages. It would be important to do it. So I'm sitting on the side of the bed, and I just flipped this book over. Page 322. I just did like this. You know how you go through, and right down at the bottom of 322 is a discussion of the AIDS virus. It is called vervet monkey disease. You know how they talked about the green monkey, the African green monkey, what's it called? Just look in your Webster dictionary under green monkey and you will see vervet. That's just a Latin for green. Listen. I'm reading from the paragraph above. A considerable amount of knowledge is necessary for the aggressor. That's the person who's going to use a biological warfare weapon. It is also preferable that the persons attacked have no vaccine, the victims. Next paragraph. The question of whether new diseases could be used is of considerable interest. Vervet monkey disease may well be an example of a whole new class of disease-causing organisms. Now, what I failed to tell you, this book was published in 1969. Haven't we been told this virus just jumped up? just came on the scene. Little new baby. Handling of blood and tissues without precaution causes infection. It is unaffected by any antibiotic substance so far tried and is unrelated to any other organism. It causes fatality in some cases and can be venereally transmitted in man. In the words of Dr. C.E. Gordon Smith, it has possible potential as an infectious disease of man. It presumably is also a biological warfare interest. They go on to talk about the possibilities of virus and bacteria being genetically manipulated to produce new organs. So I said, oh my God. Here it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been bamboozled, you've been hooked, y'all been sold out, y'all. And if ain't nobody telling y'all, I'm coming up here to tell y'all. Y'all been sold out. Whoever took that jab, man, should be suing America, the Democratic Party, for forcing people to line up and take an experiment, and was telling you you was going to lose your job if you didn't take this experiment. That's crazy, y'all. This shit been going on, y'all, since the past. I told y'all, don't let them erase your past, goddammit. Y'all pick and choose your past, goddammit. You need to know your whole past, goddammit. Because y'all would have knew not to line up and take that fucking experiment. I was telling motherfuckers, yo, don't do that shit. Nah, fuck it. Find another job. This shit gonna blow over in a minute. Nah, I mean, give it a couple years, it's gonna blow over. Oh, nah, I'ma lose my job. I gotta pay bills and rah. That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up what they did to the American people, y'all. That's really fucked up.
So I, Xerox these pages, sent it all over the world, sent it to everybody, sent it to Kennedy, sent it to Coop. I sent it all over everybody, every place I sent it. A week ago.
Man, that's fucked up.
A week ago. I'm opening the book.
And this was in the past. God damn it. This Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, goddammit. May her soul rest in peace, Ashe, was warning us. Y'all, our ancestors warned us. Y'all did not follow the what? Memo, goddammit. The lesson, y'all have not learned the lesson. Goddammit. Y'all ain't learned shit. And how many degrees you got?
It wasn't like this.
Dang, that's fucked up.
I flipped this book over.
That's fucked up, man.
And right on page 110. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Just recently, a great deal of useful work has been done on the vervet monkey disease, which caused 7 deaths in Germany. Reports of progress sent to 40 laboratories all over the world. 9 of these have been supplied with infected material and or anti-sera, which is a vaccine. Are you with me? They're talking about the AIDS virus. 4 of the laboratories in the USA, 1 each in Germany, Panama, South Africa, Uganda, and the USSR.
Wow.
A non-infective complement-fixing antigen has been prepared for distribution to the World Health.
And they got one in Wuhan now, right? China. That's where the fake 19 came from, right? From China, so it's a lab in China too. That's right. Let's go.
Organization Reference Laboratory. This is a report dated May 1968.
Wow. Wow.
Do you all understand?
Wow.
A person whose name is May.
Unfucking believable. In 1968, this memo was already out. And them same house niggas sold y'all out. They should be held accountable, y'all. Straight up. It should be some heavy lawsuits going on right now, goddammit. Facts. Anything happen to any of my loved ones that took that experiment, it's gonna be hell to pay. Goddammit, at that point, you ain't got nothing to lose. Already don't got shit to lose. But goddammit, I tell you what, let something happen to my peoples that took that jab, goddammit. It's gonna be hell to pay, goddammit. Trust me, I'ma bring hell with me when I come, goddammit. I don't give a damn who it is and what it is, goddammit. If you was part of that sellout, then line my peoples up to take that jab, goddammit, it's on and popping. Goddammit, I'm pulling up. Goddammit, fuck that. We at war at that point.
Russell? Yeah. Okay. I saw in the March 31st National Examiner newspaper that she had talked about on the TV, on the radio. She talked about the Pentagon working on this organism as early as 1962. And that it was designed to counter anything that the Soviet Union might do, but somehow they sent it to the Soviet Union. And she also said that it was used to destroy undesirable populations, the poor blacks and the homosexual population. Now anybody who is a student of Nazi Germany, I consider myself to be, Hitler destroyed the homosexuals, and then he got rid of the people he was classifying as non-white. And I say that the white homosexual population was used as the cover so that we wouldn't say, oh, everybody's colored.
Right.
So they got a white undesirable group.
Right. That's why Biden came up there and was like, look, I'm going to take it live. All them house niggas was capping that went up there live. This is what she talking about. The Baracks, the Michelle Obamas, they sold y'all out, y'all. And it's exposed, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, we gotta clean out our backyard, y'all. We gotta hold these motherfuckers accountable, y'all. It's time to take motherfucking names, addresses, and phone numbers, goddammit, and run up on these motherfuckers, y'all, that been selling us the fuck out. Fuck all that talking shit. They come with security, we coming with the goddamn hood, goddammit. Fuck their security. It's more of us in the hood to take over them motherfuckers when they pull up, y'all. Them rat-ass motherfucker Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, all these motherfuckers that been selling us out, y'all. Fuck their security. God damn it, we are the security.
Their terms. And so they attack, put the virus with that group, and then put the virus with the colored people. And so we are supposed to assimilate 50 million dead people.
Wow.
That's the number that they are projecting.
Wow.
50 million. It was 6 million Semites of the Jewish religion that people go around talking about the Holocaust. Do you understand? Now I say that if I didn't have an understanding of white supremacy, I wouldn't either. The data would have been there and it would have passed me by. If I didn't understand what went down in Nazi Germany, meaning a white supremacy state in high gear, I would not have been able to put this in perspective. If it hadn't been for melanin operating and taking me in that bookstore and letting those pages fall open when I sat on my bed, I would not have this information. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
So I say that it's important to talk.
I most definitely paid attention to the lesson. I most definitely paid attention to the lesson, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, and I really appreciate you, sis. I really appreciate the information you were sharing with the ones, the real ones, the chosen ones. You understand me? I really appreciate that information you shared with me. You educated me. No education in the world can give me what you gave me, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. See, I study the past history of all of our great leaders and speakers. And I'll take something, and like I always told y'all, like with the Dr. Khalid Muhammad, I don't agree on everything. I agree on some of the things he say. I don't agree on everything. And it's the same thing with most of our speakers. I don't agree on everything. I agree on some of it that makes common sense at the end of the day, God damn it. And these niggas, man, should be held accountable that was selling y'all out to go out there and take a motherfucking experiment, y'all. And here y'all here. It's sad, man. But see, I paid attention to history. That's why they try to tell you, oh, man, that was in the past, man. Get over it. We in the present. Okay. Okay. God damn it. The present is built off the past, god damn it. Fuck you, man, get over the past. You can't. God damn it. You can't get over the past. Because the day and the future is built off the past. God damn it. Fuck you, man. Only you ignorant motherfuckers say some shit like that. But it's sad, man. And here's the, oh, man. I've been trying to share this information. If y'all scroll down on my channels, told you I got YouTube shut my channels down, y'all. When I was trying to enlighten the peoples, enlighten the peoples about all this stuff that was going on, because it was taught to me. And you know what I mean? Only thing I can do is have my platform and I'm playing the videos on my, and they flagging my channel, they giving me strikes, took the channel. Now I'm like, ah. But now that the shit is over with, it's like, okay, nigga, it's business as usual. Get ahead and talk your shit. You understand me? Sad, man. Sad. We've been duped, yeah. We've been duped like a motherfucker. Everything that was taught to us was a motherfucking lie. Facts. You got 180 degrees, god damn it, and still sold your peoples out. And at the end of the day, them crumbs you took, they ran out, god damn it. Your plate emptied in a motherfucker now. After selling your peoples out. You're gonna have a heavy price to pay. Trust me. Your soul will always be interrupted by the ancestors, god damn it. Trust me. Trust what I'm telling you. Trust and believe. Y'all had this little black magic power. Okay, we're gonna do black magic power on you motherfuckers. Because goddamn it, the ancestors is gonna eat y'all ass alive, goddamn it. And like I said, I'm gonna come up here and I'm teaching y'all shit every day, something different. And here it is, the backup proof what I was talking about that experiment. For the motherfuckers that was out there saying, oh, hell no, what he talking about, because that motherfucker was getting crumbs off the plate. God damn it. Let's continue.
Relevant. But if we don't talk about AIDS, and if every black man, woman, and child does not change your behavior, because the virus is here. It doesn't matter how it got here, it is now here. And it can be passed on. They came up with some data saying that 1 in every 30 men in the District of Columbia already had the virus. And 1 in 75 women already had it. Now, I don't know. But the point is that the virus is here. And there are people that are dying. And you don't know whether you have the virus or not because you don't have to be sick initially. So you can have the virus, and if you're running around enjoying everybody, the virus is going with you. You see, and because of white supremacy, I wrote papers back in the 1970s, the politics of black male passivity, the feminization, bisexuality, and homosexuality, to discuss how the white supremacy system, in order to survive genetically, put certain kinds of pressures on black men that would produce that. Because if you take men, if you take fathers out of the home, you will feminize men. If you lynch and castrate men, you'll make them passive. And so we have an epidemic of black male bisexuality and homosexuality, and we didn't have it in Africa.
Facts. I love this queen here, man. Oh, man, her spirit's still with us, y'all. She's still with us, y'all. You understand me? She's still with us. I love this sister here, man, for this information that I've been had. I shared it with y'all, but they shut my channel down. It's cool. Like I said, it's a heavy price that y'all got to pay for this shit, man. It's a heavy price like a motherfucker. You understand me? The niggas selling niggas out, man, for crumbs, man. Let's go, Queen.
So I'm saying, the point is that therefore we have that potential of high virus activity amongst us. You know we have epidemic of drug use, again because of white supremacy, but we have it and it can be passed in that way. Because we have personality.
Fentanyl. Oh man. And see? King Trump fighting China, where the fentanyl was coming from. It's sad, and these motherfucking Democrats was defending. They set this shit up, y'all. They set this shit up this way, y'all. And everything she's saying, man, came from the Democrats, y'all. Fentanyl rolled in, killed how many people? How many people lost their lives behind fentanyl? How many people lost their lives behind that bullshit-ass experiment?
Immaturity and the underdevelopment of psychosocial development, which will take place in the presence of oppression. We have adults who are having sexual activity with little children. And so the virus can go from the adult population to the child population and passed on from one child.
Well, they had the babies lining up, Queen. On this last experiment, they had our babies lining up taking it. They had our babies lining up taking the jab. So they can pass it on in the future, right? Let's go.
To another, because when children do not have mature parents, or only one parent in the home who was a teenager when she started having children, there is not adequate emotional support for children, and children will seek out sexual activity, not because they are bad, not because they are dirty, but because they need a sense of closeness. And so they will engage in pathological activity that is not appropriate for them, but nonetheless the virus will pass on. So that every black person, because we have to be here so that we can have some more melanin conferences. If we don't pay attention to the presence of AIDS, we will not have the 10th melanin conference. You see, but people think, remember Earl Butts, the Secretary of Agriculture, who said all black people want is loose shoes, tight pussy, and a warm place to piss. That they can't control their behavior. You see what I'm saying? That they just gotta have it, I don't care nothing about it. We can surprise them. See, and I'm not against sex is magnificent. I'm here to testify it is. It's in my top 3. The point is, it's not a question about what I enjoy. It is a question of a higher long-range objective. Black people were put on the planet to bring justice and peace. That's how come the people who are supposed to dispense justice under white supremacy have on black robes. The people who are supposed to know about God, they also have on black robes. You see what I'm saying? That comes through even under white supremacy. So no, we have a purpose in being here. And our purpose is to make the planet and the universe right. We can be wiped out if we are not into the behaviors that are going to allow us to be here. And not only that, see, just like when Howard University said you can't teach here anymore, I was supposed to go on. That negative was really what was sending me on, what, to a higher level. And the AIDS virus, you see, by causing black people to pull in, stop being so loose. You see, when you corral and you control any urge, and you bring it on under your discipline, you lift your character to another level. So that the presence of AIDS and what we have found out about it has taught us some more critical information about who the enemy is. Because some of us think the enemy is ourselves. You see, but we have been able to see, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has said, who the devil is. Because only a devil, a doer of evil and injustice, could calculate and manufacture an evil and put it on people.
That's why I said we got some black devils. We got most definitely got some black devils. You understand me? They was the ones selling them out. They was the foot soldiers of Satan. Them demons, them niggas selling you out. The black doctors up Philly. You don't even hear from them motherfuckers no more. And the one motherfucker looked like a man in the face, god damn it. If ain't nobody gonna say it, I'ma say it, god damn it. She looked like a goddamn transgender in the face, god damn it. That was telling you to line up to take an experiment. The doctors from Philly, god damn it. Strong jawbone motherfucker, where you at? God damn it. Sold my motherfucking peoples out for some crumbs on the plate.
There is a lesson. The lesson is not to go around white people and call names and hunky this. No. You are polite. You are respectful.
That's right.
But you know what you are looking at. So maybe we can finally get it into our heads.
We down Subaru Park, y'all. That's where they having a job fair, right? For the employees that was working at Crozier. Lost their job. They having a job fair here today. At Subaru Park. Neighborhood. Start at 10 o'clock, y'all. I think it's 10 to 2 or something like that.
We are playing a game just like a game of chess. And there's two sides to the chessboard. One side is the black-white players. One side is the white players. The other side is the black. The lesson in self-respect and everything that we have heard by all these brilliant people who have talked thus far at this conference, I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about the other people. Seriously. All of those brilliant people are to help us get into respect of black so that we can play the black side of the chessboard and stop running around talking about, I want to be on the white team.
That's them niggas. That's them house niggas. That's them house niggas out there. Sold their peoples out. Take an experiment.
made you.
In his image.
Black.
In his image. You understand me? Genesis. Made in God's image, goddammit. Let's go.
Because I wanted you to be that color. And if you don't respect it, you're going to get your behind kicked until you do. So we're trying to do what she wants us to do. What he, she doesn't matter. God is all the energy in the universe. But we are supposed to be on course. And we have been captured, and we have been confused, and we have been turned upside down, and we have been turned around, and we have been sent in the other direction. And the test of the mightiness of God is that after all of that has happened, we can come back and get right on beat. So we are going to surprise the universe. See, we are going to find the answer to AIDS. I'm here to tell you. See, if we don't find it, we will find it through our behavior, or we will find it through other means. And if we can get a sufficient number of people into the respect of their blackness, they will move in this universe, and they will move among the plants, and they will move wherever they need, and they will find the neutralization for that wicked virus, even if they don't bring it. But I do think this. I think the position of every black person and everybody who calls themselves a black leader, if they're not talking about AIDS, and if they're not raising the question, why was this written about in a book in 1969? I only had one question. I sent a letter to the American Medical Association. I said, why? I sent it to the American Psychiatric Association. I sent it to the United Nations. And said, just explain it to me. How this little virus that was just supposed to come on the scene, why is it in a book published in 1969? And since the books have gone everywhere, the white people know that the books are gone everywhere. And you haven't heard anybody address that. They just have all these goo-gobby stories that are just lies. Disinformation that don't ring true. But they haven't addressed the question, how could the little virus be talked about in 1968 and 1969? So we ask that question, and if they can't come forward with an answer, then we say that you've got to be practicing biological warfare against us. And you better come forward with the treatment, and you better come forward with the vaccine, and you better not charge us a penny for it. Any so-called black leader that's not raising the question is simply a follower. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I could talk all night. Melanin. Let me say this. See, somebody amongst the perfect black people. See, we're going to have to get an army. We're going to call all of the perfect black people. Come forward. Honestly. See, it's not a question of better, but we got to get the people with the power. See, everybody's got to train to use the melanin instrument. But those perfect black people, the ones that everybody talked about, think about it. Nobody wanted any children to color telephones. Did you ever think, did you ever wonder why they make the television black, they make the telephones black, they make the telescopes black, they make the cameras black? They have to make the technology to compete with what some people already have in their nervous system. See, they're trying to make those instruments that can see energy, take pictures, do all kinds of things. But I'm saying this, nobody, doesn't matter whether you're black or white as a driven snow or perfect black. We all have to respect ourselves at the maximum level. But instead of degrading the perfect black people, we're going to say, come you are, come on, and practice using the instrument. Because if they think that they're going to make some hydrogen bombs and neutron bombs, we are going to make some frequency with the melanin that can bring them out of the sky. We're going to make some people's Star Wars programs look pitiful. We're going to have some melanin counter-war, weapons of justice. All of this evil of killing and killing, the obscenity has got to stop. All the underdevelopment of children has got to stop. All of the people who are playing around with making children and don't know what the H-U-E, man being is supposed to be, has got to stop. So we got to have simultaneous war on many fronts. We are stopping AIDS. We are going to stop children having children. Why are we going to do that? We are going to produce parents, mothers who are 30, and fathers who are 35 before they had their first child. Now look at the vibrations. Do you see these lazy vibrations? You all don't agree with that. I mean, can you feel the vibes? It was a direct... I feel it. Still cold. But what am I talking about? See, it is a war. This is Armageddon. It is a war between the forces of good and the forces of evil. The white supremacy is an army of evil. And we have to produce
white supremacists, goddammit. I mean, white power. Understand me? Straight up. But at the end of the day, I'm still around with my man King Trump. I don't give a damn what y'all talking about. It's like I said, in the communities, I seen a whole lot of black devils. And what King Trump is doing, y'all might not like, because a lot of y'all are followers and y'all part of that moot environment and fighting for illegal migrants and all that fuck shit and all that. You can't even fight for our own peoples. Man, like I said yesterday and the day before, fuck you niggas, man. Straight up. Not all my peoples, but y'all know the ones that's out here selling our peoples out. Been doing that shit for a long ass motherfucking time, y'all. And there gotta be some consequences behind that shit, y'all. Stop just standing there and letting motherfuckers do what they want to y'all. At first, we gotta clean our own backyard out first. I told y'all that. Which is them niggas that sold us the fuck out. You understand me? Let's deal with them first. We got a receipt for their ass.
Soldiers who are willing and able to fight for justice.
Yeah, right.
If you mistreat a little child because you are an underage, underdeveloped mother, an underage or underdeveloped father, you are going to produce one of the black people that is behind bars. There are thousands of black men behind bars having sex with each other. Now that is what the war of white supremacy.
Fleece Johnson ass niggas. Bunch of Fleece Johnson ass niggas out there. Then come home and act like you all man. But when you was behind them walls, nigga, you was getting that behind war out, or you was wearing behind out. Fuck out of here.
Produced. But if we say, oh no, we're getting this thing together. See, it's just like learning tactics and strategies, playing the black side of the chessboard. No, we are going to produce mature mothers and fathers. So those mothers and fathers can produce soldiers.
That's right.
See, not people who are playing all the time, but use your pineal gland visualization screen.
That's right.
Bring to mind some tall, calm, quiet black people moving around with great dignity, men and women, quiet and great dignity. And they are controlling the forces of the universe. They're not going to be doing it like this.
Right.
That's how come they say, this is your music.
Right.
All that.
Don't do what them ancestors did in the 60s and shit, y'all. That shit ain't work. You know what I mean? You see they still out that motherfucking capping, marching and protesting, still selling y'all out. Once they come up with another experiment, ain't nothing changed, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I said the younger generation, the youth, brothers that's out there that got young soldiers. Raise your soldiers, kings. Raise your soldiers. You don't want no other, well, it'd be another female and her boyfriend, but you know, the girlfriend, boyfriend really don't care about your kid because it's not his. So I'm gonna tell all my soldier brothers that's out there, if you got sons out there, get in your son life. That's an adolescent, young. Cause we wanna start when they're young, y'all. Right now you can't run into your grown ass son life and then he 19, 20, it's too late. Starts in the beginning, y'all. We gotta get him in from the cradle. You understand me? I had my son from the cradle, you heard? And he's following my footsteps, you understand me? But I don't pressure everything on him, but I do let him know the realness of this world. You understand me? Because we was born without instructions. You gotta figure this shit out. You understand me? As a man, you most definitely gotta figure it out. So I'm gonna make sure it's figured out with my son and what to look for. He's not gonna be out here in the future as a Jesse Jackson, Reverend Al Sharpton ass nigga. Nah, he ain't gonna be none of that shit. Out here marching and protesting. Nah, he ain't doing that. Hell with that shit. He ain't doing none of that shit. He's a leader, goddammit.
Music to throw you off. See, we need music that will make soldiers. Music that will cause people to do nothing else other than to respect themselves. Music that's talking about sock it to me, baby, super freak and whatever is not it. us some masterful plays coming from the other side of the chessboard. That's why I say to white people, you all are masters. See, it's evil, it's unjust, I don't agree with it, but I mean masters at making those plays that destroy us. But if you have confidence in yourself, you always like a good challenge. So I tell them, play their best hand. How many people know that the under 14 chess champion in the United States is a black child? The first United States chess champion was a black man, light-skinned in New Orleans. They tried to play like he wasn't. And how many people know that Ray Charles is a master chess player and can't see the pieces? Plays with people who can see. Master chess player.
Wow, never knew.
Okay?
Never knew.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let you all ask me some questions. I think there's something else to do today. But I have enjoyed talking with you. It's an inspiration for me to see you. Keep on melanin on.
Ashe to Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. It was a pleasure this morning. It was a pleasure. But I had got the lesson. It's always a blessing to get the lessons. You heard? It's always a blessing to get the lessons. You understand me? Dang, that was powerful right there. That was powerful. About that experiment that them house niggas sold their peoples out to get. Shit ain't cool, man. Shit ain't cool at all, man. Gotta hold these niggas accountable, y'all. Real talk. And then back to the cops, y'all. Got the cops pictures up there, wanted, unalived and all that. Y'all sad, man. That's why I did that video of their three faces with the Rodney King video. God damn it. What happened? God damn it, if y'all gonna do that to your own peoples, shouldn't you go after them same officers that roughed up Rodney King, god damn it? Or what about George Floyd? God damn it. What about what's the other one name? So many of them and shit, you know what I mean? But they rather go after, once again, their own kind. You understand me? Sad, man. Sad. At this point, y'all, we just gotta start knocking niggas upside their goddamn heads. You understand me? Just gotta put common sense back in their head, man. We gotta force that shit back in their head at this point. No bullshit. At this point, y'all,
they built it like a fortress, didn't they? Stone by stone, lie by lie. Every brick in their system soaked in deception, painted in manipulation, fastened with screws of silence. They called it order. They worshipped it like a god. But you weren't made to bow. You were the glitch in their blueprint, the storm in their sterile skies. While they popped champagne in boardrooms and whispered behind curtains, thinking their secrets were eternal, you stood outside the gates, silent, observing, becoming. They mistook your patience for passivity. They thought the quiet one doesn't fight. But what they didn't see was the tremor growing beneath their marble floors, the hairline cracks spreading like veins in their empire. A tremor is you. You are the reckoning their architects never accounted for. You are the flaw they forgot to patch. And now, as the gears groan and the foundations whisper betrayal, your breakthrough isn't just near, it's inevitable. You see, they made a mistake. Not when they ignored you, not when they mocked you, Their true sin was in believing they could control you. They poked the lion, dressed it in chains, and called it tame. They fed you crumbs and expected gratitude. They put glass above your head and said, "Rise if you can." And oh, how you bled on that climb. But that glass, it's thinning now. With every rejection, every fake smile, every hand that pushed you down, your fists hardened. Their system taught you exactly how to dismantle it. You studied their rot. You memorized their hypocrisies. They thought they were building a cage around you. But unknowingly, they built a roadmap for their own destruction. And now, the countdown has begun. Behind closed doors, they're starting to sweat. You feel it, don't you? The energy is shifted. Their eyes are darting faster. Their narratives are cracking like cheap porcelain. The ones who once walked with straight backs now slouch under the weight of their own guilt. It's poetic, really. The same hands that tried to bury you are now digging trenches of defense, panicked and desperate. But there's no hiding from a storm they cultivated. You didn't ask for war.